Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another match from the 2024 League of Dracula. Today, I'm going to be streaming two. Good evening, everyone, and uh, welcome to another Area of Dracula stream. Mm, th- this this one is between Snuffleupagus and Aerolb. Mm, he they shall be they shall be playing a double header with Snuff is hunting first. So I shall be streaming both games. Unfortunately, I am without a co-commentator today, at least for the first game. They shall be beginning any moment now. As soon as they're ready. Strider 656 is also streaming this if you want to watch him, as he has a Rokomania with him. But for the time being, it's we just have to wait for a few moments. Yeah, so since this is one of the first games of the league, I suppose I'll go over how the tournament was structured. There are 18 members, myself included, and we're actually going to be playing first a Swiss stage, where everyone will play everyone at some point or another. Well, that's not completely true. As the first stage, it was just a random pull as to who is facing who. But after that, we shall be sorted out into based on how well we're faring, so that there's less chance of one person just getting swamped by having to face off against too many, like having to face off against the people who are up at the top again and again. And after that, eventually, there'll come the elimination knockout phase, which I assume will be since there's only 18 of us, so that'll be the top 8 league performers. I don't know for certain, but that would be my guess. Yes, we're waiting for Strider to arrive. But So, yes, all good things for those who wait. So, where are you, Strider? Yeah, currently, apparently, folks are chatting a bit. It's just to past experiences in the previous leagues. There you are, Strider. Now then, let's see. Yep, they're just saying hi. So, fire it up. Fire it up. Let's see what happens. So, Snuffleupagus and Aerolb. I've played against both players a fair amount. Various people just confirming that with Snuff that he can start it up without anything else behind. So, Snuffleupagus, who is hunting first, since this is a doubleheader, after this match, I'll be shortly. I will simply have to prepare for only a little bit before, or having the second game ready to go. But Snuffleupagus is definitely newer to the channel than Aerolb is. But when comparing their skill levels, to the best of my knowledge, I'd say they're relatively even, at least on the Drac end. But I think that Snuff is a slightly better hunter, personally. So, I'm not rooting for either one in particular, because it would benefit me. It would benefit me most in terms of like the standings. Okay, Evil Presence day 1. Aerolb did not start next to a hunter. It would benefit me most if both were to win a game apiece. So in truth, that's what I'm hoping for. Not only because that's just I like a less biased viewpoint to go for, but also, but if I had to root for either or one of to root for one or the other to win both matches, I suppose I would go with Snuffleupagus, since he is one of the tournament admin and has put in a good deal of work to make this happen. So therefore, well, he deserves some recognition for that. Let's see what happens. Same old week 1 supply train, just checking on with cards. Let's an escape route. That's actually a good one for me now. It's a escape route. While that escape route is one is a combat event it's not really critical for it to be a surprise, because it can serve as a deterrent for like Dracula to try to kill Nina, because he knows that he can just duck out of any combat. but it's also not critical enough. It's not critical enough to mm, to just uh, to like it's not like it's a CG or a for forewarned renewed vigor, something along those lines. It's not extremely high power. And since it's a defensive, and since it is a strictly defensive uh combat event, it really doesn't matter whether or not Drac knows you have it, because there's no guarantee you're going to use it come the time. Oh, discarding the stake already, huh? Interesting. Okay, local rumors. So he's not. So he's not over here. At least not. At least not yet. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so apart from two other games that I didn't see the results of it, but yet, but this is the very beginning of the tournament, so I can't really give you any current standings yet. Let's see what happens. Alright. Alright. The ideal newspaper day is up next, once Dracula makes his move. Will Snuffleupagus get a perfectly timed newspaper? Garlic wreath and dogs, okay, not Sister Agatha, alright. Ally or search? He's definitely thinking about it. I personally would search, because even if you don't have surprising return, at this point, at this stage of the game, what you want is information. Okay, looks as if he has chosen to search, but let's see where he chooses to search. Not in Rome. Okay, so unless he did a like Bari Hyde Naples or vice versa, then he's not down the boot. At least not in the southern part of the boot. That is. Okay. So, trade. Yeah, yeah. So what have we got discarded so far? The only only real remarkable thing, in truth, is at stake, which, well, if you know Fury of Dracula, you'll know that that is a very handy thing and something that most hunters won't really be willing to discard that so liberally. Uh, although I will admit that that I myself am a hunter that is at least more willing than most to just do so. Mina showing a knife. When did that happen? I wonder. 'Cause I imagine that she has double knife and heavenly host or something like that, or something like that for her to be showing a knife. I would show. Oh, practically. There aren't many things I would show. Oh, oh. After a knife. So. Yeah, that's a bit. That is a bit odd. But then again, when it comes to combat with when it comes to combat with Mina rather, that Drac will typically assume that Mina will have a knife will have a knife unless he knows the unless he already knows the whereabouts of the other knives. So so it's in truth it's probably not that big a deal. Okay. Garlic and holy bullets. Alright, alright. Okay. I see. That's a juicy looking hoax already. For having only 10 end cards in the discard, for having only gone through 20, that's actually a 50% and Dracula a card odd rate with 20 after 20 event draws. Well, not quite. No, set Evans. So that's that's actually approximately 1/3 of them have been Draculans. So tomorrow's dawn will definitely be an interesting one, I imagine, considering the fact that that's when the dawn an early newspaper will come into effect. It's noteworthy, of course, that Aerolb put a rumor token on his first encounter, which indicates that he started with a vampire of some sorts. Whether or not it's an aristocratic, as a lot of people tend to start off with, or reckless, or a new vampire, we'll see. So he did not have an early newspaper. Okay. My, I suppose practically no one had any free hand space, did they? Well, allowing me had a spare slot because Van Helsing just now had to discard an event. But then again, it's entirely possible it was something that was just trash, like long night, good luck, and other things. Hmm. Yep. Just working on ticket economy. Now here's an interesting thought. Will Dracula, if I were Dracula, in this match, I would be tempted to simply lair that and try to return there later. Because since they haven't discovered your whereabouts, why not try to go about maturing other stuff that doesn't reveal what city it is? Not to mention that would wipe the majority of his trail. Well, I suppose approximately half. Due to the fact that he will get to lay down another one immediately. Let's see. Hired scouts. Okay. Okay. Well, if they locate any part of his trail, then I suppose any part of the trail that would get wiped, then I suppose I would mature it. Sofia and Bucharest. My, that seems to say that he did not go for an eastern start. Okay. Let's take a closer look at the discard pile now. There's already 2 stakes in the discard. All 4 pistols. All the dogs, all the holy bullets. 2 out of 3 garlics. One of the 2 crucifixes. 2 rifles. 2 out of 4 of the stakes. All the garlic wreaths. So so that will be interesting. So since they didn't discover anything, I would actually lair it. Especially since it was a Toulouse. Alright, so he went for possibly a Spaniard start after the evil presence. I mean, it will definitely be hard to know. So, now the problem for the hunters is that they have to. I mean, if he puts a rune token on anything, the hunters have to go and address it, unless that is they get a vampire lair first, because they would have to assume for safety's sake that it was. that it's a reckless or aristocratic vampire ready to score him the last 7 points that he needs to win the game. But now the hunters finally have a clue as to where Dracula was, and that's why, especially with it being a new vampire, and therefore worth less points than other types of vampires, I would have started. I actually would have led that. Just keep the obscurity as long as possible. The longer you keep the obscurity, the the longer it is before they can really try. Like, unless they get lucky, before they can find you. And so long as they can't find you, they can't kill you. So therefore, okay, there goes the other crucifix. Okay, how many is that for a hoax now? That's 11. Bound to be something pretty good in there. Out of 11 cards. Well, so, yes. The problem for the hunters is they have no idea where they know that where he is now. Like, it could be all the way up here. He could have, like, hugged the coast and have had Bordeaux, Nantes, and Le Havre wiped, and now he could be up in northern Germany. He could now be down in southern Italy. Wolf form, okay, I'm not all that surprised by that. This is interesting. Yeah, one place. I think that I would probably check Venice with Gloaming, because I believe. I suppose I wasn't paying enough attention, but one of them showed a horse, at least, if not both. I might check Venice. From Toulouse, where would he go? I think that since they drew the evil presence day 1, yeah, put someone to guard Munich, that makes sense. I could definitely see him going for a ring around the Mina, because then chartered carriage. That'll take me up to Marseille. Either that or to Le Havre, so that she can, like, do a scan of France. He's going for the up to Le Havre option. I'm at a guess Van Helsing is holding a horse. Hypnosis. He is in yep, he's down in Spain, or Iberia as the game calls it. Alright. Mind you, of course, that only means that the Wolfram location is down in Spain. He could have just Wolfram down from Nantes or something like that. So this spot could be somewhere in France. The fact that they use such a big event like hypnosis, as Drac, I would be rather satisfied to see that gone, and I would possibly do a sea voyage soon. I will see what he chooses to do, but... Okay, and Van Helsing is the third horse. Alright. Alright. Okay. The fact that there hasn't been a second rumor token seems to say that he hasn't laid down another vampire yet. Or if he did, he didn't have the rumor token at the time he laid it down. Okay, the trail is filled up again. Let's see how the hunters go about clearing this. Oh, slow horse. And obviously that's where the vampire was. Unless Dracula returned there, well, they weren't gonna find anything there. I wonder, does Snuff have a renewed vigor? Because that would definitely be nice for invading Spain. So we know that this is in Spain, and now that they've covered the border, we know that he's still down there. He has not yet been to Lisbon. Interesting. Yeah, I think that now is when I would, especially after that railway move, I would go to sea if I'm so long as I'm on a port. If not, well, I'd lay down I'd go to a port of just a port and see. Okay, let's see what ends up maturing here, if anything. Yeah, this is not, as so far, has not gone well for the hunters, but that was simply due to a lack of information at the beginning. In truth. Not any, like, bad play on Snuff's part. What was on that thing that slid off? I suppose he possibly... Funny. What happened there? Yep, good move. Alright. Oh, but that means that there are actually 3 ports that he could have left from. As Drac, I would have chosen Alicante so that you can head east as swiftly as possible. Then I would go as far as the Ionian Sea, and then wolf form inland to Sophia, perhaps. Okay, so he's having... Yeah, that makes a certain amount of sense. Why do you move Van Helsing here? I would just check Cadiz. Mina can simply walk to Santander, and but she can't get down to Cadiz, since she doesn't have a horse. She needs a sense of emergency specifically to get there today. So so that was the wolf location. So that, and the thing is, the hunters never checked Nantes. And as I mentioned earlier, that could have been only that the Wolfram location could have been the beginning of his time in Spain. We don't know for sure. It would appear that would be the case, because from Paris, the only place you can move in one day where you can Wolfram to Santander is precisely Nantes. Okay, so that's bad for the hunters. And he either just chose not to reveal something, or doesn't have a pistol or rifle. I would not be surprised if it is the latter of those, since after all the pistols are here, and two of the 4 rifles are here. Are in the discard. Interesting. Maturing well, no, not maturing, that was Santander. A mob at Santander. Alright. A bats. My. Lots of delaying things. By the looks of it. So, Nantes. So, now the only question is, did he leave from Cadiz, or did he leave from Alicante? Okay. Alright. Not ambushing. He's been... Well, that seems to say that, at the very least, it's not a vampire. Okay, so now Van Helsing will get to choose one or the other to check. Going with Alicante, and no, it was Cadiz. So therefore, with that being the case, I think I might go up to English Channel and then Wolfram to Swansea. Go for some England play. Possibly. Because if the hunters don't have a money trail, then could definitely be... Okay, choosing Dracula chose to bat Mina into Nantes. So whatever is there, and I guess there'll be another mob or wolves, something like that affects all the hunters in the city, I would guess. Yep. There it is. Wolves. Seward reveals a knife and a rifle. And Mia reveals a knife. Considering that he was going for maximum damage resistance, I would say that Mia's is holding a heavenly host and a stake, perhaps? I don't know. Okay, Murder token. Okay, I'd guess that'll be Cagliari, because he is left. If that is not Cagliari, he has left himself rather vulnerable to a CG. And I suppose Marseille wouldn't be so bad, since, I mean, Marseille, of course, has all these different connections as to where he could go next. But, on the other hand, okay, so it appears that Snuffleupagus has something for a dawn event, and he's thinking about it. Interesting. So, let's see what happens. Surprising return. I'm guessing that's the only one he had due to how long he hesitated over that. Yep, that was CAG. So the hunters are going to have to address that, because I would get at a guess that's a reckless vampire. Careful. I hope he intends to send Van Helsing to deal with whatever is at Cadiz. Because otherwise, I mean, if that's a hoax, there's 3, 8, yeah, there's still 11 Dracovans there. So the chances of getting something like an unearthly swiftness, or Emmanuel Hildesheen, are still not. I mean, that threat is still not gone. Okay, yeah, he's sending him there. Let's see what's. I mean, we'll see what's there, presumably tonight. What I would really like is if that's a vampire, a fighting vamp, and Van Helsing ends up night searching it. That could end up in with a dead Van Helsing. So, do you stay at Cagliari to feed? I think I myself likely wouldn't. Mob, okay. So Van Helsing's gonna be taking a bit of a hit, but it is what it is. As for Mina, yeah, just resting, as there's nothing there. I mean, there is something there as it's become a lair, but yeah, he may. I'm not sure whether or not he'll. Okay, so he chose to feed. I wouldn't have done that yet, because you're giving the hunters some time to get ahead of you. And there's also the threat of what if Seward has an excellent weather? He could actually challenge Drac now. I mean, honestly, that probably wouldn't be the best of ideas for the hunters, but it's a thought. By the way, he's just sitting there supplying. I would guess that he does have an excellent weather, and he's simply waiting for Drac to leave to use it to get onto CAG. That is, of course, only a guess, but let's see what Dracula chooses to do after the night actions. So yeah, he'll get to mature saboteur, which honestly it might be worth putting a roadblock down right here, so that Gul'dan will have to will be slowed down a little bit in going to the east, so that way Gul'dan. It won't be much. But it's not nothing either. It'll mean that e even if he rolls fast horse, he'll only be able to move as far as Munich. Will he mature it or not? Okay, he's maturing it. Where will he place the roadblock? As Phase has said, I would do so here. Block the road from Milan to Munich. Huh. Blocking the rail line. I don't know about that. I would block the road since Van Helsing is one of those that has a horse. So yeah, honestly, I don't think I don't think that's gonna slow the hunters down at all, considering the situation. Interesting. Does the Gul'dan have an excellent weather? To just leapfrog across in one move? That's... The fact that he did that and didn't go over to I honestly, excellent weather or no, would have gone on to Zagreb's to keep the event around. Let's see it. Okay, Seward is horsing, which is definitely a bit curious. Are they going to deal with that rumor token on CAG? Who are they going to send? Curious. If that's a reckless or an aristocratic, then... and they just let it go, then the hunters lose. Drax still has 12 health to work with. This is definitely a bit odd. I definitely would have started someone on the way to on the way to CAG. Sorry. That day. Yeah, because a currently 3 health Van Helsing is probably not. It's definitely not ideal for doing the job. He possibly intends to send Mina there? Would she get there in time? There would have to be an excellent weather for Mia to get there in time, but either that or a renewed vigor tomorrow for him to manage that. So now Dracula's in the Ionian Sea. I mean, this is definitely concerning. Let's see. What shall he do? Because you can't just ignore that. Oh. Huh. That's funny. Why are you doing that? Scouts. Cool. Because it definitely isn't hard to know that. Because he at least should know that where Dracula is. Alright. This is definitely... And I imagine that that's due to the fact that he's very pointedly sending Mina. I would imagine that that means that Mina has a stake. Yeah, likely. I can't say for certain because I don't know what items and such and events each of them have, but I likely would have sent Seward since he was just sitting there at Marseille. And I almost definitely would have sent Godalming to get ahead of Dracula. Into the east, ahead of him, because at this point, Godalming could be sitting at Sofia, which is where Dracula would want to wolf form to. This is definitely interesting. I consider it rather odd. I should definitely have to ask Snuff about this. But we'll see. looks as if Mina can get there just in time. So long as Mina has a stake... Okay, a third sea move, either Adriatic or Black Sea. Speedy Telegraph. Alright, alright. So what's he going to do with that? Ah, Van Helsing has Money Trail. Adriatic Sea. So this would actually be a very good time for the hunters to do CG. The reason being that they would only need 2 heavenly hosts. They can block all the ports, and he has already been in the Ionian Sea, so that would wipe his trail, in effect killing the vampire, and without needing to send Mina out there. So if the hunters have CG, they would put the permanent one in Valona, and then do that, and then block the other ports, and then Dracula takes 5, sending him down to 5, then another 1 damage for going back to the Ionian Sea. So he'd be down to 4. As Dracula, I would have wolf on the short of Sophia. Yes, it's obvious, but... yeah. But at the same time, it's effective. Since they haven't been moving in that direction, unless 2 of them are holding on to excellent weathers, then the chances that, due to how little information the hunters were given early on, the chances of them having CG are higher. Still not necessarily high per se, but higher. So how exactly does Snuff intend to do this? Snuff seems to be thinking long and hard about this, exactly how to address this. And by the looks of that, he does not have CG. I would guess. And they are running out of time. It's Thursday of week 3. If he doesn't have CG, then Mina does need to go out to Kag and address this vampire. What I assume is a vampire. Honestly, I just don't know what to say. Thinking? and stuff. Hmm, I'm just gonna make sure that there isn't so. Okay, good. I was beginning to think that there might be something wrong with my connection to this, but apparently no. He's just thinking a rather long time about this. So, yeah. Well, one thing that should be obvious for Snuff to do is to send Mina out to Cag, because he can't let that mature. It's really only Gul'daming and Sewer that you had to think about what to do. If you have I would say if if it's only one or the other that has an excellent weather, send the one that doesn't have it over to Zagreb via horse, and then send the other one, and then just have the other one just sit there and supply for a day. Catch another event. And except that they're both, although they're both at maximum capacity, it's definitely strange. Yeah, it definitely does bring some thoughts. Alright, so Gul'daming's forcing. I assume that this is going over into the east, but he could be going down to Rome instead. Apparently that appears to be the case. Okay, yeah, Mina's going out to Cag. The thing that the hunters have in their favor is that so long as Mina can successfully deal with Cag, which since she has that escape route that she got at the very beginning, so if she has a stake, she can just escape route to the ambush and stake it by night. So, especially if it's a reckless, therefore denying Dracula any ambush points off of the reckless vampire. Then chartered carriage. I'd be a bit careful, Snuff. After all, if you commit too much to spreading out, he may choose to wolf form into Munich, go over Venice. After all, that is an entry you place. Interesting. Why did he use chartered carriage then? He could have just horsed there. I don't know. Okay, so now the east is wide open. Unless they do have CG in the after all. Yeah. I definitely find the use of that chartered carriage a bit strange. Was it possibly one of them was holding two heavenly hosts and he needs to get them dispersed? I suppose that's possible. Oh, there it is. CG. So, put the permanent one over in Bologna. At least that's what I would do. Yeah, so this is definitely gonna hurt for Drac. Naples? Huh? Okay, well if you have all 3 heavenly hosts, that's still fine. But that's definitely not what I would have done. Mina has a heavenly host, as I suspected earlier. So now... What? Okay, I get it. What Snuff is doing is he's making it so that Dracula has no choice but to come right to them. And he can normal land at Bari. Now that they've played CG, he doesn't have to worry about getting nuked when he lands. Well, Aerolb, it's not over yet. Not all is lost yet. Yeah, that was definitely a very interesting strategy. And if Van Helsing's holding an excellent weather, then they can just pile on in a 3v1. Okay. And Goldaming does indeed have the forewarned. So it's going to be at least a 2v1. Does he have the means to get Van Helsing down there? No, he does not. So it's going to be a 2v1. And the thing is, Dracula does have wolf form. So if he can manage to escape his bash from this combat, yeah. So, despite him saying GG there, not all is lost yet. Yes, it's quite obvious that Mina's third item is a stake. Otherwise, she would have happily taken the day fight instead of being forced to night fight this. Lucy's Revenge. Okay, that will make things more difficult. Lucky Find from Seward. The thing is, despite it being a 2v1, I have my doubts as to whether or not this will be I do have my doubts as to whether or not this will be the final battle right here. Because if they fail to kill him, so long as Dracula still has at least 2 health, that was the first fog that we've seen. So he can then wolf horn to Florence and possibly toss down another fog. So we're discarding a stake. So, one major thing that may decide this is when will the hunters play the heavenly hosts in their attack? Yeah, I know that Seward has one, and I think that we know that Goldaming has another. We know that Mina is holding on to one. Is it Van Helsing or one of these two that has the third one? Okay, strength. Okay, broke a rifle. That's good. Only 1 damage for the first round. Good start. That's a good start for Dracula. Very interesting that Goldaming chose to simply punch. At a guess, what he's holding is knife and Heavenly Host. claws. Yeah, since he just laid. Oh, but he has another rifle. Ouch. Especially, do they up? And he does have holy bullets. Ow. Youch. Okay. If he did Heavenly Host, then that's game. Not quite. However, he can't escape. So long as they... Like, so... If they do like, both knives, then... yeah, fangs. That's the only way to survive. Since... yeah, while they had... there's no Aggie to punish him for that, but... okay, so he survives the round. But now they'll play a double weapon, and even if he fangs, or strengths 1, the other will finish him off. So yeah, this is GG. Looks as if Snuff is going to be taking this. GG, it will play both. All right. Alright. Well, since this is indeed a double header, I'll have the second live stream up soon enough. I'll ask them how long a break make till the second game. How long a break till the second game? Okay, apparently Aerol left. I'll have to check with them in Discord. Okay, but I'll have the live stream up and running soon enough, so you know exactly what we must do. Just try doing mock admin, but thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned, and the second game will be up soon enough. Bye bye now. Thank you.